Right, we do continue to bring you reaction on the story. For that, I'm joined by Roshila Nair, convener of Global South Africa Xenophobia of the COVID-19 People's Coalition. A very good evening to you. Thank you so much for your time. Let's speak now about some of your concerns that you've expressed around Operation Dudula launching in Cape Town.
Yes, thank you for the opportunity to speak on the news and to address the people about this atrocious event taking place. I say it's atrocious because Dudula, as far as we're concerned and from what we've noticed, is a right-wing fascist xenophobic organization, and it's operating in the Western Cape province is going to cause a lot of problems, a lot of violence and deaths if they are not recognized for who they are and stopped.
So let's talk about some of the issues that the Operation Dudula movement has raised. I don't know how much you managed to hear of the interview with my colleague Atim Tongana, where the response spoke to the plan that Operation Dudula has in Cape Town. They're saying that they're going to go into each and every township and listen to people's concerns on the ground, and they're saying that they are not apologetic at all. Illegal migrants must leave South Africa and leave jobs to South Africans. I mean, as you listen to some of those remarks, what is your reaction, and perhaps also reflecting on the realities on the ground?
The realities on the ground are very serious. There is more than 50% of unemployment amongst the youth, amongst people of work age, and there is a lot of suffering and hardship. We know this. This is equally the experience of locals and non-locals. But what we find with Operation Dudula is their claims that, getting rid of non-locals from South Africa is going to free up jobs and resolve the steep inequalities that we have, the employment and work opportunities, business opportunities. That's not the case. That is not at all the case. We are sitting with a crisis in this country that has been in the making for many, many years, for many decades, in fact. And it requires a concerted effort right from the top in terms of how the economy is managed and how communities are supported for basic needs and services. This is not happening. So the non-locals who are in South Africa, these include asylum seekers, refugees, and migrant workers who come here to work. They have now become the scapegoat for this group that is posturing in a very self-righteous way and criminalizing a marginal group. And what we've seen in their wake is a lot of destruction, a lot of violence, and in fact, they're trying to pass themselves off as a social justice movement and saying that this is their modus operandi and their strategy to resolve things. But in fact, demanding of people their papers in a climate where we know that the DHA has not been issuing papers to people, including South Africans, in an efficient way, is actually a very inhumane and unfair thing to do. And in fact, what has happened is that this organization has used the opportunity to perpetrate very barbaric violence against non-locals and locals as well, because they don't, they go after just anybody. And the question is, they do not have the right to go around demanding papers from people. That was something that happened in the apartheid past with the Dom Pass system, and it was declared illegal. They have no right to do this now, and we are completely opposed to what they are saying and doing. So this is why, just to say that they're passing themselves off as unapologetic and as if they are going to operate in a disciplined way. But we've heard, in fact, that today as well, they threatened a street trader and asked for his papers and said that they would return to check on his papers and they would shut him down if they don't get it, he doesn't produce papers. Now, what kind of behavior is that?
In fact, as we speak about the paperwork that you make mention of, there was a question posed to one of the Operation Dudula leaders around how they will be working, and his response spoke to incorporating law enforcement agencies. Do you think that will perhaps be a better option when it comes to the manner in which Operation Dudula conducts themselves?
I think any individual or organization has the right to raise issues and ask for resolutions. But the issue is about how they go about doing it. And what we have seen is, in the past, police also joining in with Operation Dudula. But I think our president, since civil society and communities have raised objections to what we in Global South against xenophobia term state xenophobia, has taken a firm stance against this. Any issue needs to be raised in accordance with the law. And the police are instructed to basically see that each and every intervention that happens in South Africa is done legally. And what Dudula does is the complete opposite. So I can't see how in this province or anywhere in the Republic the SAPs would partner with them to go and oust illegal immigrants. I also need to say that the issue is wider than immigrants without papers. We have sitting in our country a vast number of people, running into about 10 million actually, who are undocumented, who are falling through the cracks and not receiving state benefits because they are basically stateless citizens. So the issues have to do with how the governance has been happening and how opportunities are being made available to all people. It's not a matter of, they've created this trope of the illegal immigrant in the same way that in the past we have been criminalized as black people, as unworthy people. That is not true, and we are opposed to that, and we would be very, very unhappy, and we would respond if the police actually partner them in these raids that they conduct. It is not up to them to conduct those raids.
Very well. We're going to have to leave it there. And thank you for weighing in there. The reaction of Roshila Nair, convener of the Global South Africa against xenophobia of COVID-19 People's Coalition, reacting to the launch of Operation Dudula in Cape Town.